Breaking news just in less than 60 seconds ago, King Charles shattered centuries of royal protocol in a move that has left London's Mayor Sadiq Khan speechless and the entire city buzzing with disbelief. This moment isn't just controversial, it's seismic. What you're about to hear shakes the very foundations of British tradition and political power, and it's unfolding in real time. Before we dive deep, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon, because this story will explode and evolve dramatically over the next 48 hours. You do not want to miss a single development. Just hours ago, during an unannounced and highly charged public statement at Buckingham Palace, King Charles did the unthinkable. He openly condemned the elected mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, accusing him of undermining the delicate unity of the capital and disregarding the heritage that binds all Britons. This wasn't your garden variety royal speech. No, this was a direct, unprecedented public rebuke of a sitting mayor. The first time in over 3 centuries that a monarch has actively challenged a major elected official like this. Inside the palace walls, whispers ripple like wildfire. Trusted sources tell us King Charles stepped beyond his ceremonial role deliberately. He shattered centuries of silent royal tradition to send a blunt message. This week's mounting tensions finally cracked the surface like a dam giving way, with Khan's latest controversial policy forcing commercial property owners to convert thousands of units into affordable housing. A move derided by Tory elites and property moguls as reckless social engineering. That policy, rolled out just days ago, was supposed to be a victory for London's working class, but instead it's exploded into a political firestorm. Khan's office boasted about tackling the city's housing crisis head-on, even as landlords and developers warned of a capital exodus. Now King Charles has stepped in, branding Khan's moves as divisive and reckless. This week witnessed a heated press conference at City Hall that revealed more than just political posturing. Just minutes after the royal statement, Mayor Khan was caught uncharacteristically off guard during an impromptu Q&A with reporters. Caught mid-sentence, Khan's usual composure cracked as he was left visibly speechless, his team scrambling behind him as aides whispered urgently to regain control. That silence, the most rhetorical statement of all, has now become the viral symbol of a crisis that threatens to engulf London's ruling class. The emotional contrast in London couldn't be more stark. On one side, you have the elites and the palace, armed with centuries of tradition and power, championing a UK steeped in heritage and unity. On the other, a mayor and his supporters pushing for modern change, battling entrenched interests and promising a city that belongs to its diverse population rather than to inherited privilege. Yet this isn't just a battle of ideas, it's personal. The same day King Charles spoke, eyewitness footage emerged of 75-year-old Philip Hargreaves, a former paratrooper who served British troops with distinction overseas, now forced to sleep on his daughter's worn-out sofa after being evicted from his council flat. "I served this city and country," said Hargreaves, voice cracking with grief, "and now I have nowhere to live." His story resonated instantly, spreading like wildfire across social media. Over 500,000 shares in just hours. The image of a war veteran sidelined by the very city he defended has sparked outrage and compassion alike. But here's the bitter irony. At the same time London's veterans and pensioners face eviction, Khan's administration leaked spending reports revealing $3 million poured into diversity and inclusion consultancy, along with a controversial $20,000 retreat at a Surrey spa for senior staff. Ordinary Londoners watching this unfold see the glaring contrast very clearly. Veterans in poverty and pensioners freezing in drafty homes, while City Hall's budget pours lavishly into image-driven projects. The toll is clear in the polls. In only 72 hours, Khan's approval ratings have collapsed. Among Londoners over 50, support plummeted from 35% to less than 17%. Even within his core under 30 demographic, his backing dipped from a robust 70% to just over 50%. A collapse that would alarm any politician, but especially one so recently celebrated as the city's progressive champion. And behind those numbers lies a fundamental shift. Conservatives in London are surging, now leading Labour for the first time in nearly a decade. Yesterday, Tory leader Ken Badenoch wasted no time turning this political chaos into her moment, accusing Khan during a fiery press briefing of abandoning Londoners to chase woke ideologies while ignoring crime, housing and economic collapse. Her speech resonated deeply, streamed live over 500,000 times, marking a watershed for London politics. Internationally, this crisis is sending ripples through diplomatic circles. Commonwealth leaders meeting in London just yesterday reportedly exchanged grave concerns behind closed doors about constitutional stability and a city at war with itself. British diplomats whispered anxiously as the pound shed 0.5% in the hours following King Charles's address, wiping billions off London's financial markets. Bloomberg analysts are openly questioning whether London, a historic global financial hub, can survive such deep political instability without long-term damage. The streets erupted quickly. Within mere hours, protests ignited across London's iconic landmarks. Tens of thousands marched, waving union flags, demanding Khan's resignation. Royalists and Khan supporters clashed violently near Westminster Bridge. Police reported dozens of arrests, multiple injuries and significant property damage. The worst civil unrest this city has witnessed since the 2011 riots, and tensions are escalating by the hour. Inside the marble halls of City Hall, the crisis is tearing Khan's team apart. Leaked audio from a confidential Tuesday emergency meeting reveals Deputy Mayor Sophie Linden threatening resignation unless Khan pulls back, warning colleagues that this war with the monarchy risks burning the city to the ground. Further insiders describe Khan as isolated, exhausted, and obsessively monitoring social media. A leader overwhelmed by the storm he helped unleash. Yet just as the city braced for collapse, a bombshell dropped that could rewrite the entire narrative. Exclusive access to internal emails leaked to us reveals a stunning political gambit. Khan's team meticulously planned this confrontation with royal authority. Far from a spontaneous reaction, the leaked emails exposed discussions about manufacturing a villain narrative centering on the crown to energise our progressive base. As one strategist candidly wrote, "The crown is perfect, unelected, elite, traditional, hated by our core voters. We need a public conflict to rally the troops." Suddenly, this toxic drama appears less like an organic political clash and more like a calculated, high-risk gamble, one that may have spectacularly backfired. The intended champion of the common Londoner may have instead alienated swathes of the public who still value the monarchy's unifying symbolism. Constitutional historians are astounded. Professor David Starkey, one of Britain's leading royal experts, described the leaked documents as the most cynical and unprecedented political manoeuvre I have witnessed in 50 years. He warns Khan's strategy risks permanently damaging the delicate balance between democratic leadership and monarchical tradition. This week has already changed the face of London politics, but the coming days may be even more dramatic. Today, Conservative leader Ken Badenoch officially called for a parliamentary inquiry to examine whether Mayor Khan has exceeded his constitutional authority. While Khan attacks the crown, Badenoch said, real Londoners suffer. Crime rates have soared 24% under his watch. Average rents have skyrocketed 50% and 13,000 businesses have fled the city in the past year alone. Knife crime in London hit record highs just last week, with many street-level reports blaming inadequate policing policies under Khan's administration. Small business owners are shuttering in droves, citing soaring rents and political instability as the final straw. Public sentiment is tilting hard against Khan. In an unprecedented turn, Badenoch's Conservative Party is now leading Labour in London's latest polls, a seismic shift in British politics. Many political analysts regard this as a direct consequence of Khan's reckless challenge to the monarchy. Once considered invincible in the capital, Khan now faces the real possibility that his political career is over. The next 72 hours will be decisive. Monday brings a high-stakes vote of no confidence in City Hall, as several Labour councillors hint they might turn their backs on Khan to save themselves politically. On Thursday, Parliament will hold an emergency debate, with Conservative MPs demanding a formal investigation into whether Khan has breached constitutional limits. And by Saturday, tens of thousands of Royalist protesters are expected to flood London streets, potentially the largest demonstration since the Blitz anniversary rallies. London itself hangs in the balance. Can the ancient monarchy coexist with a modern elected mayor willing to challenge royal authority? Or will this titanic confrontation shatter the fragile fabric of a city that means so much to Britain and the world? The clash recalls the political crisis of 1936 when King Edward VIII abdicated in scandal. But this time, the challenge is more direct and provocative. An elected representative taking on an unelected monarch in a battle over city, country and constitution. At the centre of this storm stands Sadiq Khan, once the progressive star, now cornered, isolated and facing a political abyss. His legacy and perhaps the future of London hangs precariously. So here's the deep question you need to confront. Did King Charles rightly step in to defend centuries of tradition? Or did he dangerously overreach royal influence into democratic politics? Did Sadiq Khan make a courageous stand for Londoners? Or did he recklessly gamble the city's stability for short-term political gain? Who truly represents the people, you or the palace? And can massive institutions like the monarchy and modern democracy find a way to coexist, or are we witnessing the unravelling of one to save the other? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Where do you stand in this epic showdown? Should Khan resign immediately or fight to reshape London's future? Is King Charles a protector of British values or a relic clinging to outdated power? Your opinion matters, because this isn't just a story about London. It's about the soul of Britain itself. If this story shocked you, share it with everyone you know. The mainstream media is only touching the surface drama, avoiding the deep leaks, the veterans' heartbreaking testimonies, and the unravelling political chaos inside Khan's office. We are diving into all of it. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss our exclusive deep dive tomorrow, when we release the full leaked emails proving how and why Khan deliberately provoked this crisis to energise his base. What those emails reveal will reshape how you see this entire fight. History is happening live. The next 48 hours will decide not just who controls London, but the future balance between monarchy and democracy in Britain. Don't blink, because what happens next will shock us all.